Armchair commanders, we call the shots. From our living room thrones where the action's hot. We're the generals of fiction, the masters of war. In silver screen battles with buttered popcorn. Armchair commanders, armchair commanders.
Something.
I would have taken any longer. And besides, I was also watching the movie.
Wait, did you even finish it?
I didn't see the last 20 minutes of it. I got
Oh
to
my fucking god.
Hey, fuck you, man.
What do you mean, fuck you? All goddamn day you had to watch this movie.
All goddamn day I was asleep.
Oh, I'm sorry that Princess didn't get his beauty sleep. Like,
Yeah. I sacrificed my beauty sleep for this movie.
it's like, do you even know that they live or die?
Yes, they live.
That's a great 50-50 guess you got going there.
So I was right.
Well, you were right for, I don't know, maybe 80% of them.
Yeah,
I
know a lot of them died because of the fire and the radiation leak and whatnot. And that guy that was getting married surprisingly died.
I mean, at least 2/3 of them lived.
Yeah.
At least. That's good in the Soviet Union.
Historically, I think only 22 of them died from the reactor incident.
Oh, only 22.
Well, 10 people were killed during construction, so hey.
Well, welcome to the Armchair Commanders podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Jack.
And this week, we're fortunate enough to be joined by Greg. Greg, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. A pleasure to be here. I love talking to you guys.
It's been entirely too long. So long, in fact, that you no longer work for the same ship. So
That is correct. Yeah, I'm no longer with Olympia and Bakuna. I am now down in the bayou with USS Kidd.
So you jumped ship. You're welcome. I'll be here all week.
The ship jumped me, we'll say that.
Oof. Sounded like it robbed you.
Well, it robbed me of a career for a couple weeks. But
I wonder what it's like getting jumped in by like a museum gang.
You're gonna at least learn something you didn't know beforehand.
A historic ass kicking.
Yeah.
We're going to do a drive-by, but with the 5 inches.
You'll learn the details of every weapon you're being hit with. That's for sure.
It's funny because we made a joke last week about how it seems like all of our museum ship friends just inevitably end up being for the kid. So the only holdout we have now is Shane up in New York.
Okay, yeah, that's Tim's secret plan. Apparently, is to bring all the cool people down to Kidd.
I wonder he can be like he could be your social media director, executive operator of Facebook.
I mean, he kind of already is. That's why we're working on getting him some help with the editing portion of that.
But
Unfortunately, a part-time position's not really worth jumping state for.
which, onward and upward to better things. But it is kind of sad because I know, a big thing for you back when you were still with Olympia and Bakuna was, submarines and whatnot, which is what we're doing today is back-to-back submarine movies, because last week we did Telugu or Tollywood submarine movie. But as I recall, Kidd doesn't have a submarine on site.
No, she does not. So I have been consigned to the surface fleet for now. My fellow sub club museum people like to tell me that I have gone to the dark side. But but I am still very much into submarines. My social media still has the submarine kind of aesthetic going on, and who knows, maybe one day I will return to submarines. I did want to mention though, the last time you had me on, we talked about Run Silent, Run Deep, and coincidentally, Kid is in that movie.
Is she?
She is Bungo Pete.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
US. I did. So we had Tim on to discuss Greyhound, obviously, because she's the star of that film, and then we're trying to sort out a date with Park Stevenson to do Battleship because some of the film Battleship was also shot on Kid. I was not aware that Kid was Bungo Pete in Run Silent, Run Deep.
Yep. Yep. She's the all the, like the close up bridge scenes. That's her, and I think she has one or two far away shots where they're tracking her moving.
Maybe we should just do a USS Kid in film podcast.
You should talk to Tim about that because Tim does want to do an exhibit about that, and I kind of do too.
I think it would make for a great little section of the museum.
Yeah.
One of my favorite aircraft at the National Air Force Museum is there's a C-17 there that is like a very early model C-17. And it basically got consigned to doing like movie appearances. So like all the Transformers movies, like any like modern military movie made in the last 15 years, like this C-17 was in it. And instead of like, how fighter planes have, like kill markings or tallies on them, the C-17 has a little silhouette of a movie camera for each film that it did.
That is fantastic. I love that.
But yeah, it's like its first major film credit was the like the original Transformers movie.
That's great. I love that.
But we are here today to discuss K-19 : The Widowmaker.
I've made this joke twice already, but damn it, I'll make it again. The K-19, huh? Hear that there sub's haunted, huh?
I gotta say, you are never really off to a great start when you have some sort of like comma, apostrophe, exclamation point in your movie title.
And it's like my old man Mortensen used to tell me, my grandpa, never trust a sub where the doctor gets hit by a truck, 10 people die in the construction alone, and the champagne bottle doesn't break. He told that to me all the time.
They don't install half the shit it's supposed to have.
Yeah,
like Soviet engineering.
I was gonna say, like, right off the bat, like, relying on Soviet logistics and engineering, you're already in for a bad time.
Yeah.
Who needs radiation suits on a nuclear sub?
Yeah. That's for capitalists
instead.
Their loyalty will protect them.
Yeah, what were they wearing instead of actual radiation gear? Just
chem suits.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good luck.
Oh yeah, like I'm looking it up now, and granted, like, yeah, I know they're made of different materials, but realistically, a radiation suit compared to a chem suit doesn't look that much different.
Yeah, well, there was a comment made, I think Harrison Ford made it to the doctor, that the crew wouldn't know the difference, so just tell them they'll be protected.
I love the comment he made to the doctor where he's like, how are they doing? And the doctor's like, how should I know? I don't know shit about radiation. And then he's like, okay, well, tell them they're getting better. As far as you know, they are.
Yeah. God, grim optimism, I guess.
In Soviet Union. Um, I do appreciate, like, I think it's great that this film, it's telling the story from this movie does a very good job of telling a Russian story from a Russian point of view while also still being honest about the issues that the Soviet Union had. Like, because like all
Yeah,
the characters are like, Kurwa, Russia, but also it's like, you know, um, when Harrison Ford is doing his initial walkthrough of the sub and like he starts having like water drip on his head, the chief just looks at him and is like, noted, and they keep moving on. Like, um, it just it was like they treated it basically, it was just treated as like, oh, this is how things are. And I imagine by that point everybody in the military up to that point was probably used to that kind of nonsense.
Yeah,
yeah.
you had to have a sense of humor in the Soviet military. Not that they would encourage that, of course.
Well, what the party doesn't know won't hurt us. But I did read that this was a 2002 movie. When the
Yep.
script was first written, they did show it to surviving crew members to get their input, and so they edited it based on their feedback.
Yeah, I read something that like the original screenplay wasn't really well received, and this
Yeah,
is
the
the
original
mi-
screenplay sounded a lot like it was going to be more of like the Soviets suck script and not really portray the other side of that coin.
yeah. So this was probably that like middle ground of like truth to I'm a brave Soviet hero.
Yeah.
But Harrison Ford, what do we think of his Russian accent?
Okay, so I think if you can get past Sean Connery's accent in Hunt for Red October, you can
But
give
I
Harrison
can't.
Ford and Liam Neeson both a pass. They're terrible
I,
accents, and I will admit the first time I watched this film, it ruined it for me, but since then, I've kind of gotten over it, and I think this is probably one of my top 5 submarine films.
You know, I will give special credit to what the hell is his name? Sean Connery and Liam Neeson because they're actually Europeans, I guess. But
I don't know. Like Liam Neeson's was also off, but I don't
it
know
was
it.
better.
I it's like, oh, maybe he doesn't sound as Russian because he has that more aggressive tone to it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, he has the North Irish accent.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me being ignorant and being like, tomato, tomato. You
Hey,
know,
you're ignorant.
I'm
Yeah,
ignorant.
you heard
Stop
it here
being me.
first, folks. All Europeans sound the same to John.
That's right.
But yeah, as I was saying, I'm gonna give credit to Liam Neeson and Sean Connery because again they're European. But Harrison Ford's and yeah, the dad from Jurassic Park in Red October. I always forget that guy's name. His wasn't up to snuff either, but look at me asking for perfection in Hollywood.
How dare you?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know,
know.
right?
I thought the Skarsgård was kind of okay.
Yeah, the Skarsgård was okay.
Which
And
Skarsgård is it? Who knows? There's only 17 of them, and oh, Peter Sarsgaard.
yeah, that sounds correct.
Peter.
Because he wasn't good enough to be Pennywise.
Nor was he good enough to be the corrupt Soviet politician in Chernobyl. Which I was going to mention. I watched Chernobyl like for the first time a year ago, and then for the second time recently. And you want to know what I always thought? I thought this movie would be better if it was underwater. And I got
What?
my wish. K-19.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cross that one off the old
that's
watch
where I
it list.
recognize him. Peter Sarsgaard was in Jarhead also. He was the partner to Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, the spotter.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I remember.
He's got a pretty significant filmography. He averages like 3 to 4 films a year. But I digress. I don't even remember what it's amazing to me that they got such an amazing film prop to do all the above water scenes. Like, all the above water scenes are fantastic.
Oh yeah,
And,
the scene with him breaking out of the ice.
but anything that's below water, like whenever we see it like just cruising underneath the water, it's like very obviously like low budget early 2000 CGI, and it's like, come on. You know, because they obviously put a lot of effort into this film, and like the interior of the sub, and I don't know what your opinion is, Greg, but I thought the interior of the sub also looked pretty good. Like
It is passable in the sense that it's a lot of shit crammed together. But I think I read somewhere that they didn't actually film inside a sub. They filmed in some kind of like control center in Russia somewhere.
I wonder how they managed that one, but
I don't know, but apparently this was the first like film crew allowed to film in Russia since like the collapse of the Soviet Union or something like that.
Dang. Historical.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
But I don't hate the CGI that much. Like it is a 2002 movie. It is a product of its time.
it's one of those things where it's like, you know, we've done about half of the Band of Brothers episodes so far.
Over.
And the second episode in Band of Brothers is the opening scene is pretty heavily CGI'd with the like the airborne drops and whatnot. And for being like an HBO miniseries 2001, that CGI held up like remarkably well. So I guess I just kind of have like this unfair grudge against CGI from that era.
That's fair.
And maybe it's just my own bias in liking that series, but
well, if you want to know what my bias is, it's at the end when was a 170 or 270 comes to save them. That's an Oberon class submarine, not a Whiskey class submarine. So that's
unwatchable.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is
throw the movie away.
What's the point of making a movie if we're just going to screw around?
They got it wrong. You know, Jack, you mentioned you wanted Chernobyl, but underwater. It's a great way of looking at this film.
So I had no idea the history behind this movie in the slightest, and I purposely didn't research it, and I just went in. What a fucking mess.
You know what's amazing, Jack, is that the history of the actual K-19 is like infinitely worse than what this movie gives you.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, this movie only gives you like one thing that happened to the real one.
So, yeah, 10 people died building the thing. And then the champagne bottle not breaking, that was a real thing.
Yeah. It was also christened by a man and not a woman in real life, which is another superstitious thing that went wrong.
Man, they should have kept that part in.
Yeah, right.
Like what? They couldn't find some admiral's wife to do this? Like
party politics, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So the fire that was on board, that was a real thing. The nuclear almost Armageddon that happened, that was a real thing. K-19 also collided with a U.S. submarine after all of this. Like, they brought it back to port, fixed the reactor, sent it back out to sea, and then they crashed the fucking thing into a U.S. sub while on patrol.
What was the captain? Was Harrison Ford's character like fucking drunk in real life the whole time?
Well, you gotta remember the first captain got fired, so
Well, yes. that's that's a good outcome on this godforsaken sub instead of dying.
can I please go to the gulag now?
Yeah. When the crew is actively looking forward to working in a coal mine as opposed to this friggin' sub.
Oh, thank God. At least I won't drown to death down here.
Or die of radiation
Have
poisoning.
my skin slough off.
You'll just get black lung instead.
Let me see. I had it pulled up. What was the other? Nuclear accident, collision. Oh, there was more fires after the nuclear accident
Mm-hmm.
that killed 28 sailors.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it took 40 days and 30 ships to rescue the crew from the last fire that it experienced.
Jesus.
So yeah. The thing that like truly blows my mind though is after all of this, there's some Russian businessman. So like the K-19 had, its operational life, and then eventually they're like, okay, we're going to decommission it. In 1990, think about this. The nuclear meltdown was in 61. Like, it just blows my mind. But they finally
I think that has more to do with that the Russian Navy doesn't formally decommission their ships. I forget why, but even if a ship is like no longer in use, it's not decommissioned. It's just left to sit pierside. And I
Oh,
think
so like
I
if
think
it's
it
if it
may have something
like
to do with the fact that the Russians can't actually afford to like safely dispose of the nuclear reactors because 9 out of 10 times the U.S. is paying for that. Um, I think that's what it has to do with, but the Soviet Navy never really formally decommissioned their ships like when they should have, at least on
so
paper.
so even if it's like mothballed, there's still air quotes on the active list.
Yeah,
The moths
because
still serve the Soviet
they
Union.
officially don't have a mothball fleet. It just sits in whatever naval base it's assigned to.
Hmm. Those
And
irradiated
I
moths must
think
get
it's
really big.
so like on paper that the Navy can show that it has X number of submarines.
The classic padding of numbers.
Yeah, the paper Navy.
But so when it finally did get decommissioned, there was some like Russian businessman who bought a section of the K-19 and was going to like turn it into a restaurant, to which the like surviving crew members of the K-19 very much opposed to it. They had beef.
Good for
Um,
them.
so that it went back and forth in like the Russian court system, and then ultimately he gave up on it and then turned the section of the K-19 that he bought into a house.
That's a choice.
Yeah,
I'm
who
very
doesn't want
curious as
to?
to what section he bought. I assume it wasn't the reactor compartment.
No, I'm also curious if it was like a cross section, like a top to bottom cross section, or what the deal is.
Yeah, I think the sail still exists. I think the sail's a memorial somewhere. I
It
might be.
is.
It is okay.
Uh, I have a picture of it. I'm trying to figure out where the location of it is though. But the entire sale of it is like in this like port town. Why won't you tell me where the I think it's near where she was scrapped. Murmansk. Anyways, whoa, Murmansk has a dope coat of arms. Anyways, so yeah, you can still see part of the K-19 to this day if you feel so inclined to get your little dose of radiation. But
I
which
think
begs
I'll
the
pass.
question: if if given the opportunity, would you see Chernobyl, Greg?
Would I like physically go to Chernobyl?
Yeah, let's just imagine that Ukraine and Russia are not at war, and you can just take your little vacation to Chernobyl. Would you take it?
Um, the historian in me says yes, absolutely. The pragmatist in me says I'm already fighting asbestos and lead paint. I don't need to add nuclear radiation to that.
Fair, fair.
Don't forget microplastics.
Well, that's a given. We're all fighting that.
I don't know why we're mad about microplastics. I, for one, am stoked to have tiny little chemical shards running through my veins.
Yeah, whatever gets me off this ride sooner, I guess.
Are you okay?
Depends on the day.
Do we need to get you some
I, I
grippy socks? Like,
I do not need to be 302 though. No, don't worry.
is that what they call it down in the south?
No, that's the Pennsylvania number. Um,
Oh, in
I
Colorado, it's called being M1.
M1. Okay,
So you get a M1 hold.
I know the number in Louisiana is a 4-digit number, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. My
Jack,
wife would
what's
know though.
the South Dakota code for grippy socks and pudding?
No idea.
Did you used to be associated with that in some degree?
Yeah, but they usually hit me with the hell doll before I heard the code that they would call out.
Mm. That was when you're still fighting with a spoon.
Oh, right. I remember it was a 2319. It was also the same code for a, human artifact in the monster world.
That's fair.
I don't know.
So, Greg, what was your favorite aspect of this film?
I have grown to enjoy. Like I said earlier, I didn't enjoy the film the first time I watched it, but it's grown on me significantly since then with each kind of rewatch. And I like the fact that it's not really your typical submarine film. Like, there's no hot submarine on submarine action. There's no tense depth charge scene. There's no like stalking of prey. It is very much crew focused. Like, there is the context of what is happening, obviously, but like the global context doesn't really matter so much as to what is happening on the boat itself. And in that way, I almost kind of compare it to like Master and Commander, where the story is very driven by the crew and their relationships and how they're struggling with duty and the life they've chosen or have not chosen in some cases. So
Right. Like, it's still
that's
a
kind of
part
done it
of a
for me.
larger conflict, but it's not, the conflict itself is not the centerpiece.
Right, exactly.
It's like with this film, Harrison Ford brings it up. He's like, yeah, our reactor's about to melt down and possibly blow up our warheads, and maybe the United States will nuke Russia in retaliation for it. And that's about the most it gets into the Cold War. That and the like, the party commissar giving his little lecture showing, the Ku Klux Klan burning crosses and shit. But um, the Cold War is definitely not the main focus here.
Yeah, it informs what's going on, but it's not the story.
I do like the little jab that they did about JFK. They're like, we're going to make him sweat so he can't even trust his own backyard.
Yeah, I did like
I was
the
like,
we're gonna let them know he won't know until his own spy planes tell him or something like that.
Right. And it's like, oh, in this timeline, JFK's still alive.
Pour
Fucking
one out
Lee
for the
Harvey
homie.
Oswald, little prick. Have you ever read or seen the TV series 11/22/63?
No.
It's a Stephen King product, and it was originally a book, and then Hulu adapted it into a miniseries,
And
and it's all
Simpsons
about
and the
a
Simpsons parodied it.
yeah, and it's all about this guy who goes back in time to try and stop the JFK assassination, and it's a really good book, except it has the problem that every Stephen King book has, which it has a terrible ending. Um, and instead of it being like, oh, this is the actual outcome of like JFK being alive, like he did this, which was good or bad. It's, oh, JFK remained alive, and then like a time rift tore through the universe, and so the entire world started decaying into nonstop earthquakes. And it's like, okay, that's not actually a commentary on what the rest of his presidency would have been like.
Yeah, that's just kind of like an easy out.
Yeah, it's like I would have liked to have seen how JFK would have handled Vietnam or other major issues, you know?
Yeah, like at least
Oh,
give me
by
like an
God.
epilogue that like summarizes that.
But I digress. Ugh.
I did
Jack,
also enjoy about this film how like some of the dialogue is a little cheesy, but the kind of rivalry, I don't want to say rivalry, but like the conflict between Harrison Ford character and Liam Neeson's character is pretty well done. I feel like you could take either one of them like their side and be right. They both had like pretty valid points in what they were trying to do.
Mm.
it was a good conflict. And that's the thing is like this movie successfully like avoids a lot of tropes and cliches, but it still manages to cling on to a couple of them, such as the commanding officer XO feud.
Yes.
Um, and that I also like the fact that they end up more or less resolving their issues with each other.
Yeah,
So
they do come to this like mutual understanding that they're trying to achieve the same thing. They're just coming at it from different perspectives, and if they just started working together, then maybe things will be all right. Because it does for both of them, it is duty, right? For Liam Neeson, it's duty to the crew. For Harrison Ford's character's struggle is like into his internal struggle is the crew or the state. And I think he ends up finding that middle ground by the end.
well, Harrison Ford's character has, daddy issues with the, you know, whole my dad was a hero of the Soviet Union and also got sent to the gulag.
Yeah,
But I
because
mean, under
it
Stalin,
is
who
family
didn't go to
tradition.
the gulag?
Yeah, it's family tradition. He's next.
One thing I really liked about this, and I don't know if it's maybe I just like pseudo Russian sounding music, but I thought the soundtrack to this film was amazing.
Big
Yeah,
fan of Kalinka, are we?
Yeah.
I think Soviet music in general has this like it's like this larger than life sound that I think is attractive in a set piece like this.
Yeah, a lot of it's very orchestral.
Yeah, because there's that scene in Red October too where they're singing as they
Yep,
activate the caterpillar drive, and I enjoy that as well.
the most iconic scene, arguably.
Yeah, I
I
thought I
just,
heard singing.
throughout the film, I thought it was an excellent soundtrack, but especially the reactor repair scene, the music just absolutely, like, it took they could have gone a lot of different ways with showing the reactor scene, and it could have been like a tense, like, you know, the typical action film, like dun 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 dun, dun. Like, you know, stupid. But like this was a very like the reactor scene music was this very mellow and muted kind of sound that still expressed like kind of sadness and intensity, but it wasn't
Are
like
are you
in
talking
your
about the
face.
scene where Redchenko is in there by himself welding it, or
No, the initial
the
repairs.
initial repairs? Okay.
Like when they first like pop the airlock.
Yeah, I think that the music, I mean, music in any scene can make or break a scene, right? I think the music that was selected for this film in a lot of the scenes does a really good job at underscoring the humanity of what's going on, as opposed to like you were saying, the rah rah of like that you might expect from like a typical like war film. It's very much highlighting that these men are sacrificing themselves more or less, um, for their shipmates.
I also like the fact that it went from music to they made the switch to no music as soon as the first pair came out of the reactor room. Like I thought was an excellent choice because then it just like brought that scene back down to like a real world level.
Yeah, it kind of gives you that moment of like, are they okay or not? And then you realize they are very much not okay.
Plus, like it's hard to sync up music to the sound of like vomiting, so
There's that too, yeah.
I I was still pretty young when this movie first came out, but I remember seeing it in theaters, which who decided to let 8-year-old John see this fucking movie in theaters? That was a choice.
That sounds like a grandfather choice.
It was a grandfather choice because my grandfather served on fucking U.S. nukes, and he's like, I want to see what them Ruskies were doing. I'm like, okay. Oh, so 8-year-old John did not appreciate that the guys with blisters on their face and puking were like 3 days out from dying
Yeah, I
a
don't
very
think I
painful
don't think
death.
8-year-old John slept well for a while after that, I imagine.
No, it was. I was like, I don't get it. Like, they went and they welded some stuff, and now their face is all kind of like sunburned. Like, I got a sunburn last summer. Like, yeah, it wasn't fun, but
I didn't die 3 days later.
yeah, 8-year-old John was not prepared for the realities of the conversation of radiation poisoning.
Thanks, Granddad.
R.I.P. But I love this film as a kid just because it, you know, it's that connection, uh, like a tangible thing to kind of hold on to. It's like, yeah, it's a Russian crew, but like this is what my grandfather did type deal. Um, and so when it came out on DVD, immediately got it. So also, whose choice was it to allow John to have the DVD of K-19? Uh, questionable choices being made there. But I remember like, you know, I kind of got like the autism like focus on it. And so
Can't
I
relate,
remember
sorry.
like I remember making a submarine model out of like a cardboard, like, you know, the cardboard tubes that like wrapping paper comes with.
The ones that the rest of us used as lightsabers?
Correct. So while everybody else was using them as swords, I was like cutting them up and like making my own submarine models with them. Um, and I remember like giving one to my grandfather. He's like, "Why did you make it a Russian sub?" I'm like, "You're the one who took me to K-19."
Dad
You know
about
what I
abandoned
will
you in the
say
wood.
though is that like since I'm like operating the museum store now, like looking at like a lot of ship models, a lot of them that like we sell as toys are very distinctly Soviet flavored, and I don't appreciate that.
Hey, look, if there's one thing the Russians did is they made cool looking fucking submarines, okay?
Their
Now, did they
submarines
make
were cool
functional
looking,
submarines or safe
but as
submarines?
somebody who works on American ships, I want to sell something that ties back into the ship I am working on.
Okay, well,
And the Soviet
it's
November class pen doesn't really do the same thing for a Vallejo class submarine.
it's
Greg,
hilarious.
never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
It's hilarious. So we watched last week. We watched Ghazi Attack, which I don't know if you've seen that film.
No, can't say I have.
I would recommend it. It's on Netflix actually. It's another submarine movie, but it is about it is a sub it is an not a Bollywood, a Tollywood, because apparently there's a difference. But it's a submarine movie about a Indian sub hunting down a Pakistani sub, and it's actually like pretty decent.
Okay.
Um, but because we watched that last week, and I watched this week, my Reddit, because it's always phone's always watching what you're doing.
Yeah, your
Um,
algorithm is.
yeah. So I'm scrolling through Reddit and I get a suggested post that's like, how would you like to start a career in building submarines? And I'm like, that sounds cool as fuck. Also, I have no
Oh,
qualifications
are you getting the
whatsoever.
buildsubmarines.com ads now?
Yes. It's like, I don't know how to weld. I don't know shit about electronics. Like, why am I getting this ad?
They'll teach you.
I Okay, well,
You'd have to move to Connecticut, but
oh boy. I don't know. Connecticut might not be that bad.
I hear it's expensive.
Yeah, but I also imagine that.
Yeah, well, so is everywhere nowadays, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, if
well,
I have a job building submarines, something tells me I might be able to afford an expensive home.
that's true. That's true.
But yes, I've been getting build submarine ads on Reddit now.
They're everywhere now. Like they're on the side of race cars now.
I know we're constantly building new ones, but I couldn't imagine that our need for submarine building people was that great.
The submarine industry in this country is the only arm of the naval industry that is actually doing what it's supposed to.
Hmm. I would join buildsubmarines.com if America came up with its own Typhoon class.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Wait, don't we? I thought the Ohio class was like the Akula class. Or am I just talking
well,
out my ass?
now you have to be careful about your naming here because if we're talking Typhoon, when you say Akula class, that's a very different submarine in terms of NATO reporting names.
Right.
So are we talking Akula NATO name or are we talking Akula Typhoon?
Akula Typhoon.
Uh, then no, they're the similar in that they're both ballistic missile submarines, but the Typhoon is double hulled. The Ohio
Ah,
class still only has one hull.
Well, they're both
well,
well, the non-technical name, they're both boomers.
Yeah,
um,
but the Typhoon's got two pressure hulls.
so what I'm hearing is we need to make three hulls to one up them.
I want
Yes.
to say someone did try to design a triple hulled submarine. I can't remember who. It wasn't. It wasn't either of the Soviets or the U.S. It was some like I want to say it was like the Netherlands or something.
Of
But
course
I
they would.
remember I remember seeing like a construction photo of it. Obviously, did not work because it did
What I
not like
really
exist.
want
But
is how the US has the submarines with like the SDV attachments to it.
yes,
And for our listeners who aren't as familiar, SDV stands for SEAL Delivery Vehicle. So it's like the submarines that deliver Navy SEALs. Um, instead of doing those, why can't we bring back like the Japanese I-400 class, but like modern? Just like, could you imagine like an Ohio class, but it has like a hangar with 2 Apache helicopters on it?
I don't know that financially that you could make that a convincing argument.
Oh, ye of
The I
little faith.
the I
Why?
four hundreds
Why must you
were
crush my dreams?
because I'm a realist at heart. The I 400s were certainly a cool, unique historical phenomena, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
we had to
What
just go fucking send them to the bottom of the ocean. Like,
goddamn bikini atoll. But when you have Ford class aircraft carriers, I don't know that the cost of designing and building those kinds of submarines would pass muster. That being
yeah,
said,
but it
the
looks
current
cool.
administration seems to play on the rule of cool a lot. So
I mean, as long as it's like gold plated, I'm sure you can sell it to him.
you could just tell him you'll put his name on it and he'll buy it.
Let's not go too far here, okay? Like,
Let's not give him ideas.
we already are trying to sell like a cool submarine idea. We don't need to ruin it with a stupid name.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Besides, if what would we even name like a modern I-400?
I am a proponent of using national parks as a naming convention.
Ah, yes. The newest I-400 class submarine, the USS Yosemite.
Tell me that doesn't sound at least a little cool.
The
It does kind
Jellystone,
of work.
a fictional park, Jellystone.
Could you imagine being the guy's like, I got assigned to the USS Katahdin. How do you spell it? I don't fucking know.
They don't pay me to know how to spell it.
Oh, Jack, what was your least favorite aspect of this film?
Well, the whole mutiny subplot, where it's implied the executive officer is planning on going on a fucking mutiny the whole time. You know, he pouts in his room for that one scene. And then when there's a fuck up and the dickhead captain asks for names, he's like, I'll give you a name, Alexei Blank McCaptain Names Cobbs. And he's like, but that's my name. Blah, blah, blah. And then when it's time to, you know, when the shit goes down, there is a mutiny. And they're like, no, fuck you. This is your fault because you made us do this and this and blah, blah, blah. And then Liam Neeson's like, hey, you know what? You guys took real initiative. Hey, can I see that gun? It looks really cool. Ah, fuck you. I'm reverse mutinying you. Then he allies himself with the captain who's given him no reason to ally with. Man, I was really hoping that'd be a moment where he stuck it to the man, but and then the captain is like, oh, maybe we should give ourselves up to the Americans. So what they wanted to do. But
Fun fact, in the original story, the real story, the captain was actually afraid. He's like, oh, there's a mutiny about to happen. So he threw all the guns overboard, except for like 2. He's like, haha, you
wow.
can't mutiny me without guns, bitches. But bringing up Exo Mutiny and whatnot, we mentioned earlier 2 different personalities kind of trying to accomplish the same thing, different approaches. It's kind of unfortunate that they changed the names of everybody in this film, because Liam Neeson could have played, in real life, the XO of the K-19 when this event occurred was Vasily Arkhipov, which do our history nerds at home know are keeping tabs on that name?
Yes.
No.
Well, Vasily, who Liam Neeson could have played, actually, after the K-19 incident, is the guy who prevented the Cuban Missile Crisis from
I
literally exploding.
That's what I was thinking about this whole time.
Could you imagine having that kind of naval career where you go from preventing your sub from blowing up to preventing other subs from blowing up the US over an embargo?
Wait, so this was Liam Neeson's character?
Correct.
See, I thought that because that was in the back of my head most of this movie, because for a good chunk of this, that's where I thought the plot was going to go.
What, like the K-19 was going to go to Cuba?
Yeah, that's where I thought the movie was going to end up, but no, it was Chernobyl at sea.
I'm honestly surprised that Eric Paul doesn't have like any kind of like biopic style movie focused on him, because he does have kind of an incredible career.
He would be an interesting person to have his own movie. To be fair, though, he does have a cameo in X-Men First Class.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Remember when the Cuban Missile Crisis was a plot device of X-Men?
Yeah.
That and the JFK assassination.
Which, does that mean that X-Men First Class is a war movie?
Yes.
I mean, it also has the Holocaust in it.
Yeah. And it also has the Mutant Discrimination Act.
I'm sad. I'm out of wine.
I got
Alas.
plenty of Miller. Speaking of which, what are you drinking tonight?
Wait, did you say you're drinking Miller?
Yes.
Mm,
It's the most
choice.
Soviet drink I could find in the 5 minutes I had to go make that beer run.
Well, you remember that wine that I was complaining about last week, Juggernaut?
Refresh my memory. What was it called?
So it's called Juggernaut, and it's a Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh, right.
And I bought it on the basis of every good wine connoisseur, which is it had a dope fucking label. The design on the label is literally just a killer whale. So I was like, why not? And I tried it having a glass of it while watching last week's movie, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. And then I was too lazy today to go to the liquor store to get something good, and half a bottle of Juggernaut was staring at me in the fridge. I'm like, okay, well, this is what we're going with. How about you, Greg? Do you have anything special, or you riding the Sody Pop train?
I'm always riding the Sody Pop train. I've got a cherry Coke tonight.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, that's a movie theater classic.
Yeah. And I feel like the
Now, the
cherry
real
adds
question is, were
enough red.
you chomping down on some popcorn during the irradiation scene?
No, I was actually though building some Necrons for Warhammer.
Hell yeah.
So kind of
You're a
energy
Necron
based.
guy, really?
I got the new Kill Team box, the Tome World one.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Necrons are cool.
I've reached a point where like 40k changes too much, like too quickly for me to keep up with it. So I just kind of chase cool looking models to paint.
There you go. That's how you do it.
Jackson Orc boy.
No, I'm not.
I thought you liked building orcs.
No. Imperial
What do you-
Guard for life.
Imperial Guard.
Arcadia stands.
Yeah, the planet broke before the Guard did. And other things you can tell yourself to sleep at night.
While you're eating your corpse starch.
Yep. Sometimes you find a finger if you're lucky.
That's
But-
the best
Okay,
part.
No.
I'm a Battle Sisters guy.
Oh hell yeah!
It's a shame there's not like a 40k film to do. We could do the
You could do the secret level episode.
yeah, we could do that as like a bonus reel sometime.
I would love to do that with you.
There's some
Absolutely.
probably some fan-made mods or movies.
My
You
favorite
could do a
one,
Stardies.
my favorite one is there's a YouTube video of just the of a Space Marine priest chanting the same thing over and over again, and sometimes I just put that on in the background,
Oh,
when I'm working on stuff.
you don't do the Space Marine playing the saxophone as he's riding his Land Raider?
No. Although somebody did do a spoof of Still Standing by Elton John, but they like dubbed it over with a Space Marine voice.
Nice.
So sometimes I'll listen to that.
So I recently went through a 40K Mandela effect thingy where I thought my next army would be cool if I made a heretic cabal, a dark, what the hell is it? Dark Mechanicus army. Only to find out that there's never been an official release of Dark Mechanicus. Like there's no recent armies for it. It's all basically all fan made, which is weird considering I thought they were one of eight, not a major faction, but a player,
They're like in the 40K setting, they're kind of like backseaters to chaos in general.
Yeah, they're like the tech support of chaos.
Yeah. There is
Tech
support,
the heresy, you
that
mean?
new demon, I can't remember his name, but like the lore says he's trying to like maybe become like the fifth chaos god or something like that.
There's in lore it states that not all Dark Mechanicus cabals are like, let's grind up 100 babies to use as lubricant because we're evil.
Well, that's the Imperium.
Most of them are like, hey, maybe we should try innovating after 10,000 years of stagnation. And then they get labeled heretics and traitors.
The audacity.
Yeah, the cheek. Yeah, I'm drinking Miller Lite this evening.
But actually, we weren't even bringing it up, but I was thinking during that whole thing was recreation. I loved the scene in this film where after they bust through the not the polar ice cap, the Arctic, whatever, and they're playing soccer. And I thought that was an amazing scene because, like, my grandfather never told me about it, but I have a photo of him and his crew playing baseball in the Arctic with, like, the submarine in the background. And it's like, oh, all these things track. He did complain, though. It was weird. Like, the one thing he complained about in this movie is, like, they would have never put their clothes out to dry up in the Arctic. Like, they would have just froze. It wouldn't have done nothing to them. I'm like, okay, Gramps. Like, if that's what you want to go off on, by all means.
Yeah, if that's your takeaway, then I think the movie did all right.
But,
It's funny what we focus on in terms of, like, nitpickiness.
I'm not going to lie, I would be so mad if, like, I spent 30 days inside of a submarine not seeing, like not fresh air, no sunlight, all that. And then finally they're like, okay, guys, you can go outside, and it's the fucking Arctic. I would fucking shank somebody.
I don't know. I feel like at that point, any air is good air.
Yeah, I bet the novelty would wear off real quick, though. Like, I'm in the Arctic. And you're like, fuck, I'm in the Arctic. Can I just go back to bed and sleep through this?
I think it's different if you're anticipating it. I gave my dad, so my dad was career Air Force, and a couple months ago it was his 60th birthday, so we took him out to this fancy steakhouse here in Denver. It's the kind of place that you have to have like a reservation like months in advance to get into. Because 60th, might as well go all out for it. And so we're sitting and waiting for our food and just trying, normal conversation. I was like, trying to make it about him. So I was like, hey, Dad, out of your last 60 years on the planet, like, what's been your favorite day so far? And he looks at me and he's like, the day you were born. And I'm like, that's pretty gay, Dad. Like,
No, but seriously, Dad.
Are
No,
you
I
an
had-
only child for context for that, or
yeah, I'm an
Okay.
only child, so. But like, I didn't know how to respond to that because I was expecting him to say something different, and so like, I'm like, oh, I have emotions.
oh god,
Thanks, Dad. And then
healthy male
like 2
bonding.
seconds after he said my birthday, he's like, that or the day I went to Antarctica. I'm like, there it is.
There you go. Buried the lead.
I'm glad to know that my birthday just barely edged out going to Antarctica. I did feel special though, because like, you know, my mom was there, so I was 100% expecting him to be like, the day I married your mother, son. Like he could have won some real good brownie points right there, and he blew it.
I think that's like saying the birth of your only child is probably something that you can get a pass on.
I can't wait to tell my child something stupid. Dad, what was your favorite day? Oh, it was the day we recorded episode 94 of the podcast.
What about the day I was born? Not even close.
I don't even remember what episode 94 was. Now I'm going to have to look it up. Just for the
Yeah, let me
prosperity
know.
of it.
Maybe it was actually good.
I was gonna say, for the sake of my ego, just don't tell me what it is. I'll pretend it's this one.
God damn it.
It was Tenet, wasn't it?
Episode 94 was Conan the Barbarian.
Hell yeah. That was a good movie, though.
No, it wasn't.
The fuck it wasn't. To hear the lamentations of their women.
Okay. I think it's about time we gave this film a rating.
Oh, wait, John, we forgot to mention. I don't think I saw an entire egg this entire movie.
That's right. I did feel that. There's not one egg in this movie getting crushed.
And there was no string either.
No, there's no string in this either. There's no torpedo scraping. There's also no hot sub on sub action, but
There's just a conga line of fuck ups.
There's no hot sub on sub, but there is a hot sub.
This one fucks itself.
You get a little toasty. And I mean, you know, there might not have been hot sub on sub action, but, you know, we did see some Russian butts mooning a helicopter, so.
That is true.
I felt bad for the doctor because, like, every day he'd go, you know, give the iodine bath thingies, and there'd be a test, and they would just, like, bump into him and knock his tray down. And it's like, you guys are just being dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That poor doctor.
Who's only here because the other doctor died.
I'm treating radiation poisoning with aspirin.
Who knows? Maybe it does work.
I'm gonna go with no
Oh,
on that one.
does red wine actually slow the absorption of radiation?
Vodka does.
I don't remember the science behind that, but I think there is something to it, or at least something like
Is it
base
because
level.
red wine has strontium in it?
I thought it was alcohol.
It's something along those lines where it slows the absorption rate or something like that.
Red wine and radiation. Huh. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, so take that for what it is. There is a chemical in red wine specifically called acetylated resveratrol. which researchers have found that that chemical uh, increases the cell's ability to fight radiation damage.
Okay. So there is a
So
little
much
something
so
to it after all.
that many radiation medications developed specifically for nuclear events are based on that same chemical. But oddly enough, it says that red wine also makes it more susceptible to radiation treatment for cancer patients. I
Huh.
don't know. Anyways,
I'm not a doctor.
neither am I. And apparently, neither is the doctor in this film because he doesn't know shit. But
He's probably some poor minute clinic physician.
you know, it makes about as much sense as the guys who are handing out bits of tinfoil to wrap around their nut sacks.
Yeah.
So, but uh, go into a rating of this film. As you might recall, we don't do 1 to 5 stars because stars are boring. I think we should do 1 to 5 irradiated mice.
Irradiated mice.
Because that one dude had a pet mouse to be like a canary, essentially.
I was gonna say, like, maybe we should replace the saying "canary in the coal mine" mean rat on the cursed sub.
So yeah, 1 to 5 irradiated mice. Jack, I'll have you go first.
I think I'll give this about 3 rats out of 5.
Oh,
No hot sub on sub action. You know,
there is not hot sub on sub action in this.
I found Harrison Ford's character to be grating, although I suppose that was the point. And yeah, the conflict was entirely driven just by human error and just fuck uppery and misfortune. I don't know what the naval equivalent of the gremlins were that fucked with planes, but
The Russian equivalent would just be general incompetence, but
major, yeah. Maybe mermaids. I don't know. What do you think, Greg?
I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna go 4 mice out of 5. It's not your traditional sub movie in terms of the expected tropes, but I do enjoy it, and I don't think this movie gets talked enough about in the circle of submarine films.
I would agree. It's definitely not like when you talk about submarine movies, you know, it's not Run Silent, Run Deep. It's not Hunt for Red October, you know. And it's a shame because if I recall correctly, this kind of bombed at the theaters,
It did, yeah. But this
which
is one of
hopefully,
Harrison Ford's, like, he's very proud of this role apparently.
and like, good for him. Not to mention, this was like one of Catherine Bigelow's earliest directing jobs. And honestly, I think it deserved awards, but I don't recall if it got any. But
I don't think it did.
I know it lost like 30 million overall. But it also was technically an indie film because it was like well, it was distributed by Paramount, but I don't know if they actually. It was funded by National Geographic Films. This suddenly is making a lot more sense. All right. Yeah, well, in reception, it doesn't have any kind of. Was not nominated for anything. But Roger Ebert did compare it to Das Boot and The Hunt for Red October, so
So there.
Take that. I'm going to give this 4 irradiated mice and 1 tinfoil testicle wrap. So like a 4.25.
Okay.
All right, let's see what Rotten Tomatoes says. 59% on the tomometer and a 53% popcorn rating.
These people don't know what they're talking about.
I'm going with the critics.
I am severely disappointed.
Yeah, it's not an action film, and I think you actually have to like pay attention to the film, and it requires you to be a little bit cerebral to enjoy. But I
It's
still
a
think it's a good
drama.
film. Yeah, exactly.
But that has been K-19.
All right.
Jack, I think next movie is actually your choice.
Hmm.
Please tell me it's going to be a three-peat for submarine movies.
Well, let me check here. I actually had a movie picked out. But
Or not. Pick whatever.
where the hell's the list?
So if you want to do another submarine film, I will happily come back and do The Command. Or if we want to do a really awful one, we can watch
Is the
Phantom with
command
Ed
about
Harris.
Is the command about Kursk?
Yes. It's got
Ooh.
Colin Firth in it.
Huh. That would be a good one to do.
If we want to do a really terrible one, we can do Phantom with Ed Harris and David Duchovny.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for that, especially after
I wasn't. That was the film that I think introduced you to me because I had posted it on my Instagram stories as being absolutely awful, and that's what prompted you to reach out and see if I'd be interested in talking movies with the two of you.
Yeah. We did Below once, and my head still hurts from that.
Phantom is worse than Below.
I
Wow.
didn't think that was possible.
It is an awful movie.
Do you got one pick, Jack?
No. Don't rush me.
Okay, while you're thinking about that, Greg, if you would, I know you just switched places, but if you have anything going on at the kid you want the people to know about, the floor is yours, and share social medias for yourself as well.
So if you want to come talk to me on social media, I am on Instagram and Blue Sky as DBF Enthusiast. If you find the profile picture with the crab holding the submarine, you have found me. As far as Kid goes, we are this close to getting her wet again. She is currently in dry dock down in Houma, Louisiana, undergoing repairs. And if you have...
Phrasing?
What's
No,
that?
no. Let him continue.
So if you have any inclination to donate, we would love any support y'all can give us. I don't know if she'll still be in dry dock by the time this comes out, but she'll certainly still be in Houma by that point because she is not coming back to the city until spring next year. We do have to wait for the Mississippi River to the tide to come up so we can get her back into her cradle. But while she's
The
gone,
Mississippi.
the museum is still open, and we are still in need of funds to keep the lights on and to do some projects back home. So the museum looks comparable to her when she comes back because she'll be bright and clean and sparkling.
Here's actually a suggestion to you, Mr. Operations Manager, for your gift shop. Maybe you should, you know how like the USS Iowa has like their massive museum and whatnot.
Yep.
Start a plank owner program. You know, X dollar amount donation gets you a fancy certificate.
So with the Iowa in that case, because they're rebranding themselves, that's why they have their plank owner program. But membership is a thing that we have to kind of go over and kind of revamp as a whole at the museum. So that is something that we're going to be looking at. We actually do have a Patreon. So if you want to join
You let
Patreon,
this kid at the Patreon?
we do, yes. And I actually love the concept because it's not as much as like a standard membership would be, which means that if you live in Colorado or South Dakota and don't feel like paying a full membership because you're not going to be able to take advantage of the visitation bonuses for that because you're halfway across the country, you can chuck us $5 a month or whatever it is and get behind the scenes access, early access to videos and photos, early access to like specials, sales in the gift shop, and we do a book club on the Patreon as well.
Ooh.
This month's book club is
I've,
actually The Last Stand of the Tin Can Sailors.
I've always wanted to join a book club. In fact, Jack, we should start an Armchair Commanders book club.
But John, I can't read.
Shut the fuck up, you library worker.
I've been fucking whipping that joke out for the last couple years.
Just because he puts the books on the shelves doesn't mean he knows what they say.
No, you know what his job is for the South Dakota State Library? He sends out audiobooks to blind people. He doesn't even need to read. He is in charge of the fucking medium for him to consume books that doesn't require eyeballs.
Well, I mean, yeah, I do ship out audiobooks, and yes, I do listen to a couple of them, but
that would still require him to have 2 brain cells to process what he's hearing.
I am going to punch you in the dick, Jack.
But no, Greg, I've been whipping out that friggin' joke for years now. Like, oh yeah, I can't read. Just casually. It came to a head about a year ago where one of my best friend's daughters was like running around their house asking people to read her a bedtime story. And then me being the good Uncle Jack, I said, I could read you a bedtime story. And she just curtly said, no, you can't read.
Way to get
Got
out
me.
From the mouths of babes.
What I will say, though, is something else that the Iowa does and a couple of other museum ships does that I think you guys would do, and I would 100% buy one from you guys, is you should do like a flag flown from the kid's mast kind of program.
Oh, we do. We just can't do it while she's in the yard.
You do it?
Yep.
Oh, I tried looking at the gift shop and I didn't see, like, the online gift shop and I didn't see anything.
I don't know if it's on the online gift shop or not. It might be one of those things where, like, you have to come to the museum to do it or call us. But every museum ship does that.
Oh. Because I was going to say I'm working on a collection right now, but my pride and joy is my USS Arizona flag.
Oh, very nice.
With a tiny little shaving of a wood deck from the Arizona. How did I get that? Shut the fuck up.
So, Jonathan.
Yes.
I have 3 options.
Am I picking from them, or are you just saying it for the kicks and giggles?
Well, that depends. Because my 3 options are Thin Red Line, Threads, or the creme de la creme, War of the Worlds, the most recent one.
The Tom Cruise.
Now, hear me out. We could get drunk and watch it together because it is apparently really fucking bad.
Yeah, all of them sound bad. Well, Thin Red Line might not be that bad, but who is in the most recent one?
Most recent what one? War of the Worlds, Ice Cube.
Ice Cube?
I think. No.
I thought Tom Cruise was one of them.
Oh, no, Ice Cube is in it.
Oh, no, it was. Okay, yeah.
With Ava Longoria.
There's an even more recent one. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, because it bombed. Oh, my God. Where is it?
4%.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
At one point, Amazon saves the day, and it's produced and distributed by Amazon.
Fine. War of the Worlds.
Yay! Hate watching War of the Worlds.
I don't have it in me to do nuclear Armageddon after watching radiation poisoning.
I see. And what's your beef with Thin Red Line?
Oh, nothing. I just wasn't in the mood.
Okay.
Wasn't in the mood for a World War II film at the moment.
Now, when you watch this movie and we review it next week, I don't want to hear shit because I offered you a way out.
Wait, I'm still going to talk shit about the film. I'm just not going to blame you for it.
Okay, that's all I needed to hear. So don't get your panties in a twist at me, mister.
We're going to do War of the Worlds, and then it'll be my turn. I'll be like, all right, now we're going to do War of the Worlds 2005.
I'd rather watch that than this one, honestly.
Then why don't we?
Well, because I hate you.
Okay.
Also, hate watching a movie's fun. All right. I think I've said my piece.
The only saving grace is that we're doing The Mummy next week, so...
Oh, there
goody.
you go. The first one, I hope?
Yeah, the 1999 one.
Yeah.
If that's what you meant by the first one.
The one with,
Brendan Fraser.
yes, that one.
And my 4-year-old crush, Rachel Weisz.
Listen, I don't know anybody who watched that film and didn't come away with a crush from it, so...
Oh, yeah.
That's my 30-year-old crush.
It's a beautiful cast.
Brendan Fraser,
whether you're
too.
into the Magi or Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, or
The Mummy.
Knox on the Moon, like the only real kind of like person is Imhotep.
I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Sure.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a review. Stars do matter. If you want additional content from us, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all those good places. OnlyFans would not let me reactivate our page, so there goes that. Until next time, I've been John.
And I'm Jack.
Greg, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me again.
Until next time.
Bye.